Hi, I hope you've really been enjoying this fantastic weather we've had in Victoria. And if you don't live in Victoria, well, guess what? There's only two types of people, those who live in Victoria and those who don't. This is going to be a really quick update on the Victoria real estate market. And I'm also going to tell you that there's one type of property that you should not be buying right now, in my opinion. Let's get into it. So right now in the market, we have about 2,300 listings. Last year at this time, we had just a little bit over 1,100. So I've stated this before. For me, a balanced market is probably at least 3,000 listings and maybe more like 3,500. So it is kind of a strange situation right now because sales are actually down 46% in September of 2022 compared to the same period last time. So that's quite a drop in production. Interestingly enough, the sales of houses, they're still selling quite well. They're only down by 33%. The condo sales are down quite a bit more, by 60%. But we have a lot of new condo buildings get built around town, that sort of thing. But the trend still really is towards houses. We still see the odd place sell over list price, but not a whole lot. So the demand is still there for houses. So do I think it's a buyer or seller's market? I kind of think in some cases it might be slanted a little bit more towards the buyer. Definitely, I would say condos for sure. Houses, it depends on that. Since the peak of the market, we've seen about a 4.5% drop. It depends on what location you're in. Some are a little more than others, but generally speaking, I would say that's about the value drop when things kind of peaked around May, June of this year. Okay, so who do I think should be buying right now, and who do I think should be selling right now, and who should be sitting on the sidelines and just do a little bit of a wait see? Let's go through some different scenarios for different types of buyers and sellers. So if you're only selling, we've been thinking about listing your property, particularly if whether it's a house or a condo, I don't think it really matters, because I think you should be listing it right now. This is still a good time of year to list. Typically, the market is pretty good up to the end of November. December is notoriously one of the slowest months of the year, but I see prices dropping probably for the next 6 to 12 months. I don't see a big correction, maybe another 10%, but you know what? I don't have a crystal ball. I'm only speculating here. So if you're thinking about selling, the sooner you get to market, the better. If you're going to buy and sell, then I think it really does make a lot of sense to be listing your property and buying right now, because particularly if you're downsizing, actually if you're going either way, it probably doesn't matter that much, because typically if you're buying and selling in the same market, it's kind of 6 and half a dozen of the other, right? What you're selling is probably going down in value, and what you're buying is going down in value. The only thing I would say is if you own an expensive property, let's say you've got a house worth 1.5 million, and you're going to buy a $700,000 condo. Well, on a dollar value, if prices, say, I'll just use round figures, go down 10%, well, you're going to lose 150,000 on your house that you're selling, whereas the condo you're buying is only going to go down $70,000. So there's that aspect to think about. Now, if you're a first-time buyer, if you're just renting and you're trying to get into the market for the first time, my personal opinion is always a good time to buy real estate. Who doesn't want to own their own property? It's the old line, stop paying your landlord's mortgage and pay yourself. I'm just going to, just one thing to think about here, and I'm just going to read from some stats I pulled out here, because the mortgage rates have changed a whole lot here. So, it was routinely 6-8 months ago, you could get a mortgage for 2.5%. So on a $600,000 mortgage, that monthly payment would have been just a bit under $2,700. It would have been $2,688. Now that payment, because the mortgage rates are more like about 5.25%. Now that would be a monthly payment of $3,559. That's an $871 difference with the increase in the mortgage rate. So, that is going to affect first-time buyers, what they can afford for sure. For round terms, if you're just trying to figure it out, for every $100,000 you're borrowing, your payments have probably gone up about $145 a month. So, but however, if you are renting, because we know how expensive the rents are in Victoria, I still feel that you're better off to buy a place. There is probably some good deals on condos, and because the supply of them is the largest compared to single family houses, and I really feel there's going to be some good deals in the condo market over the next few months. So Make sure you've got locked in interest rates. Will interest rates go up again? I'm not too sure about that. I kind of feel like they will. One of the experts I talked to thinks we're about another year, maybe 18 months away from seeing a reduction in interest rates. So if you're renting, yes, I think you should buy. So how about you folks who live out of province or outside of Greater Victoria and are thinking of buying like a second property here, a condo that you can use for 3 or 4 months of the year and maybe have other family members use it and maybe rent it out for part of the year. Now just keep in mind too, and I'm not going to get all the details of the speculation tax, but if the property is not occupied for at least 6 months of the year, either rent it or by yourself or say by family members, there is going to be a speculation tax applied to that. So if that's your case, talk to me. I'll send you in the right directions to get you some proper advice on that. And yeah, because you want to be informed before you make a purchase, so you know any sort of hidden costs, we'll call them, up front. But if you're just buying a second home here, I don't think you have to be in a big hurry. However, I think it's always a good time to buy. Reason being is if you're going to get value and enjoyment out of the property, and prices are already down a bit anyways. And again, I feel like there'd be some good deals out there in the condo market, then yeah, go ahead and buy. Now, if you live out of province or out of Victoria and you're going to retire here, live here full time, then I think that even makes more sense because most of the markets across Canada are in the same boat. They're all declining right now in value. So likely again, whatever you're selling is going to be worth more than what you purchase in Victoria, depending where you come from, of course, because guess what? Prices are expensive here. But if you're, we'll call it downsizing, then I do think it makes a lot of sense because the property you're owning on a dollar basis is probably going to go down more than the property that you're going to purchase. So yeah, so I think that's, no reason not to buy, but you can take your time. And, again, I don't think it's a bad idea if you're moving here from out of province, just to rent for a little bit, discover the areas if you're not that familiar with Victoria. And certainly myself or Gina can give you a tour around the city. And, I'm born and raised here, lived here all my life, so I know every nook and cranny of it. So who should not buy right now? Well, I think maybe it should be better phrased as who doesn't need to rush to buy right now. And I think if you're thinking about buying an investment condo, there's no rush right now. The reason being is I think the price of condos are going to go down further. But again, this is going to really depend on your particular circumstance. The reason I say that, if you're a cash buyer, maybe the stock market's not doing very well and you want to just invest your money and get a reasonable return on investment. And that's at best 4% and probably somewhere between 2.5% and 3% right now. So again, the price of condos are down. The price of rents is not down, and it's still very competitive in the rental market. So buying an investment condo, I just don't think you need to be in a hurry, and because I think the prices are going to go down more. If you're going to put a mortgage on it, well, if rates go up again, again, I don't know if they are, and I don't have a crystal ball on that one. But anyways, that's the only sort of group that I don't think need to be in a hurry. If you're buying a condo for investment, take your time, or you can even wait a bit and see if you can feel where you think the market has finally reached bottom. Hey, so those are my thoughts on the Victoria real estate market. Thanks so much for watching this. If you live outside of Victoria, I'm going to have a link here somewhere to my most popular video, Pros and Cons of Living in Victoria. I think you'll get a lot of good ideas out of it and good thoughts on Victoria. I hope you've really enjoyed this video. So please click the like button and smash the subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.